Hey everybody, it's been a while.
It has been.
We've been doing well. I have been using my, actually there's ash all over the anvil. We've been doing some different work, and me and Stacey want to reach back out. We want to build the community that we've always wanted, that our friends, you know, that's what I consider you guys. That's the truth. I'm not going to edit any more videos. I'm done with that. I'm done being doom and gloom. I will talk news that's probably not very happy, but this is it. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, well, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So thank you guys for being patient. We did take a few weeks off in December. We had an amazing time with family and friends. And Chris and I were talking, and we want to really start this YouTube channel back up. And let's bring the community together again, and let's talk about what's going on. And you had some really interesting facts that you were talking about inflation, and it's normal.
Well, that's
we're just going to have, I think, normal conversations, like you said, instead of editing.
Yeah, and the fact is, inflation is baked in the cake. There is no getting it out. The ingredient is already in there. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of people that think, you know, Trump's in office and he is the man on the white horse and this is the way it's going to be. But let me just run a few things about inflation past you, okay?
It was interesting what you read to me. We've
Well,
already been discussing this.
This is just some stuff I wrote down. What if your income doubled?
Mm-hmm.
That'd make your life pretty good, right?
Yep.
My income doubled. Well, what if everybody else is doubled too? Kind of like, okay, we stayed the same. That's the way most people think about inflation. They think, well, everything's fine. It's inflation, but everybody's paying the same price, and that's just the way it works. The problem is inflation isn't equal. And if I'm saying something out of turn or wrong, fill me in the comments. Because what if yours doubles and everybody else's triples or quadruples or maybe more than that? That makes you poorer. Is that a word, poorer?
Yeah, well, not only that, but then when the prices go up, poorer.
Poorest. I think it's poorer. Poorer. Anyway, and the prices go up to keep up with, there's more people chasing more goods.
It is.
We've seen this over and over and over. You know, the price of everything has gone up. And when I talk to the normies, the normal people that are just around, I was like, do you think it's just prices or is it inflation? It's just the prices are going up. That's all I know. That's all people know is the prices are going up. Prices are up, like someday they're going to come down. On some things, yes. As a whole, this is part of it. If you're struggling now, just wait a little while.
Well, I think, and this is my personal opinion, but I really believe stuff like food and things like that, I think prices are going to continue to go up. If you see all the things that's happening globally, you see what's happening in the United States, I think, now housing, I don't know. It's been a really weird, and we'll get into that in a little bit with the lumber story that you have, but I think pricing of food is going to go up. I was talking to, over the last couple of weeks, I've been shopping for Christmas and all that. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. So,
you're good.
I've been shopping for Christmas, and our Christmas was different this year. We bought hardly any gifts. There's a few we bought, but did we buy? We didn't buy hardly a few that we thought people needed some stuff. But I was talking to people as I was shopping and in the grocery stores and different things like that, and every single person told me that for the most part, that they had reduced their spending for Christmas. The spending had changed. Even places like Bath and Body Works, they said their customers were way down. I went to Ross, TJ Maxx. The goods that were in there, they were literally stacked in the aisles of clothes, different things like that. Tons of Christmas things on sale, which typically I'm not used to seeing quite that much. So I'm curious what you guys see. But food, when you go, everybody's buying food. Go ahead.
It's funny you mentioned food because she doesn't know anything I have in my notes.
Oh.
100 years ago, you could buy 39 times less potatoes with $1 today. Sorry. You could buy 39 times more potatoes with $1 today. You could buy 20 times the coffee, 24 times the bread. This is something that doesn't end. It's like it's consistently gotten worse. And after they changed it, after they flipped the script and said, well, we're going to take us off the gold standard, we can't manipulate that, it's gotten exponentially worse. I don't have those stats. I will. I've done them a bunch of times, but I'll get some fresh stats for you. But I've noticed today, like out of all days, today you were super busy on the phone.
was. Yes.
Like I went in there to talk to her, she was on the phone.
Yes.
And Stacey sells precious metals for Miles Frank.
Yes. You guys all know that.
Yes. Well, most of you. If you don't, get on the email list and get the hottest deals. My goal is to get people into precious metals as the dollar. I want to be the person that helps the good people get into precious metals. I want to sell for people. I want to sell, be in the middle. Does that make sense?
Completely. And I will get onto another video about this because I do want to do a video specifically about this. But just get on my email list to stay away from scams. I'll leave it at that. Get on my email list so you know what prices are. But I want to do a video about that later.
I have
Keep
to
going.
talk about this.
Okay.
The reason I went into it, these faith-based companies, be so careful.
I just had another call.
I got it wrote
today.
down. Faith-based dealers.
Yes.
I'm not going to go into it a whole lot.
I'd like to do a video about that in the
Maybe so.
of how to avoid scams, how to know what you're asking, what questions to ask. What
We've
to
done
look
several.
for.
We'll do another
Yeah.
one. There's so many out there. This is real money.
Yes.
God only put so much in the earth. The Creator put money in the earth. He put real money,
Yes.
wealth in the earth. Hard to get to. It's been that way forever. And now we're running out of certain elements like silver and
Well, when
gold
you have banks
too.
consuming it, you have military even buying it. I mean, at some point I'd like to do a video. But let's keep going on your inflation because this is really good stats in groceries and.
Well, and I have this just jotted down. Gov can't issue checks without inflation.
True. That is so true.
It's like a fact. It's like you got to think through that for yourself. And I only write things that are thought projects. Sometimes the things I say, I have to kind of think through for myself. Can anything issue wealth that doesn't create an inflationary system? If so, the government could say, okay, and they say this all the time, inflation, there's no inflation, we're fine. We're around 2 or 3%. It's okay, or whatever.
Was it transitory?
It's transitory.
Yes.
This is through history over and over and over. That's why it's important to think about it, not to try to scare you. That's what a lot of precious metals people do. They try to scare you. This is gonna go to the moon. Well, maybe so. Maybe it's a long time from now.
I hate
right?
scare tactics. Matter of fact, there was someone that wanted to make a fairly large purchase today, and I probably spent, I would say, an hour to hour and a half before making sure they were really actually ready to purchase. Because when I would never scare you into that. That's another one of my pet peeves. But anyway.
Well, the last thing I had, and one thing everybody can do is exchange your labor, your time, your what you work for. You can exchange that for wealth. And you can pick what you want to choose as wealth. So
Define a little bit what you mean by that.
So you can, your time is your most valuable
It
asset.
is. You can't get that back,
Your
and you cannot go
most
back.
valuable asset.
It is.
What do you do at your job?
Yep.
You trade your time for money, for fiat currency. And then you take that fiat currency and you spend it on whatever you wish.
Mm-hmm.
What if you could turn that into something that when it doubles, when the inflation doubles for you and triples and quadruples from that, it would keep you up to par. It would keep you up. Does that make sense? It
Yep,
keeps
it
you
does.
with things you can't really do on your own. It kind of, it's like, all right, there's so much of this. There's just a little bit of this on the earth, and it's been manipulated for a long time. And one day, I have 100% full faith, and, well, it's documented, all fiat currencies return to their intrinsic value of zero, nothing. The dollar will be the same. I know we have digital dollar and all that stuff to look forward to. I'm just saying, the paper money you have will return to the value of paper. That's been 100% true for the entire history of the planet.
Well, I don't think the dollar will ever maybe go away. So I have some thoughts on that, and I go back and forth on that. But I do think the value of the dollar is going to go way down. But I think to go back to what you just said about finding something and making it a value, so maybe put it in woman's terms. Instead of going buying that Louis Vuitton purse, I think is what you're trying to say. Maybe put it in something that will invest and give you value later versus something that's going to go in value, down in value, like a purse that you're going to put in the closet and never use. Is that what you're trying to say? That's a woman's point of view, maybe.
Maybe, sort of. Yes, I'm saying you don't have to choose precious metals. You could choose oil.
Or land, or rental property. I think that's what you're saying, though, right?
Right. Just try to think about what, the wise store up wealth for their children. And that's one thing to consider as we move into the Thunderdome, which is anything past 2020 goes. After 2020, if I ever refer to the Thunderdome, that's what I'm talking about, post 2020, because it's like I saw people do stuff that I never would have dreamed, like wearing a mask on a bicycle and that kind of stuff.
I know. Before you go any further, I want to mention just something. As a woman, you also can do your own part. I was talking to a lady today who's, by the way, Vicki, it was so nice to meet you. If you're watching this video, it's the first time I met her today. And she's a very strong woman, but at the same time, she knows that her husband's the head of the household. But you as a woman, if you read Proverbs, she rose up early every morning. She invested in real estate. She provided food. So as a woman, there's also things that we can do. And so I try my best. I'm not always perfect, don't get me wrong. I know sometimes I'm a pain in the butt. But there's things that as we were talking about, being a team player and supporting your husband, there's things as a woman you can also do. I'll get off my soapbox.
No, that's true.
It's Vicki and I were having a conversation about that today, and it was good because if you read Proverbs, a woman also can be an asset.
For sure, 100%.
I even heard a thing one time.
I'm telling you, I'll say this out loud. My wife and me are in 50-50. It is straight up. She does everything I cannot do, and I do everything she can't do. That's the truth. I mean, God blessed me with a good wife. That's the honest truth. And a lot of people don't have a good wife. I know several. One very important person. But it's just, that's the truth. I'm not going to digress too much.
Well, I just saying women
you're the rock I lean on.
Women can also do their part also is what I'm saying, because a lot of times we just think that the man is going to do the financial or going to do the investment. And but there's one of my good friends right now. She's a single mom. She's an entrepreneur all of her own. I'm picking her brain right now, and I'm like, how, is there something else that I can invest in, or is there another passive income that you can look at? Because I'm always looking to see, where I can improve myself. And anyway. Keep going.
It's awesome.
I digress.
Well, there's good people and bad people, and sometimes good people marry bad people. And
well, I digress. Sorry.
All right, so I have this in the notes, but man, I hate to talk about it too much. I got scolded so hard on YouTube for this.
Go easy.
This week, Zuckerberg this is a quote. This is in an interview.
Go easy.
This week, the Biden administration staff pressured his company. Zuckerberg comes out and says, these people from the Biden administration would call up our team and scream and curse. And I thought, wow, that's great. Well, when they knocked me down into the gutter on the tube, Trump was in office.
Yes, he was.
This has been going on for a long time. And
it's interesting though that Elon Musk has come out with X and become very popular. Now all of a sudden he's come out and he's following suit now. I find that very interesting. I watched a video about him when he did a video.
Whatever's popular is what they're going to do. Does morals have nothing to do with it? Is it popular? Don't say anything about it? Okay, I'll do that.
By the way, if you don't follow us on Twitter, follow us, because that's where I post a lot of stuff that we don't always say here.
And we're going to be covering a lot of that stuff tomorrow in the morning in
Yeah.
a live stream. What time are we doing a live stream?
Oh, 9:30. Coffee with Chris and Stacey. We're going to bring that back.
9:30, Coffee Chris Stacey. I'll post it
Yeah.
tonight. You know, if you haven't liked and subscribed, we plan on bringing as much value as possible without any editing. I'm not doing that. I do not want to be fake in any way. It is not an act for me. This is us.
This is us. Yeah.
So I'll go into that story later. That's been going on for a long time. Zuckerberg, Google, all of that is hush hush. I've been beat up, and we're still here. So we're going to keep that going.
What does Trump say?
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
The jobs report. That was so interesting. You know, they had a great jobs report. It was 256,000 jobs were added to the economy. And I want you to think about this. A good jobs report means the stock market tanks. I mean, that is like, that's screwed up like a soup sandwich. It is so backwards from what it should be, but that's the world we live in, also called the Thunderdome. What it is investors can expect the not lowering interest rates. You know, they were expecting lower interest rates. Now that's off the table. So, stock market down. It's crazy. It's what you think is good for the economy is actually bad.
Sometimes. Well, it's manipulated too.
I hope that's not the case for the Trump presidency.
I don't know. I'm curious to see. I know everybody keeps saying these tariffs are going to be good and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, they're
I'm
going to be
curious-
good.
Well, but
The intention.
The intention, but I'm curious to see initially how it's going to affect certain prices. They say it's going to be a little bit of a rough time. We'll get into that maybe more in the morning. But I think they're saying that it's going to affect the prices a little bit more in the beginning, and it's going to be a little bit of rocky area. There's going to be some tension with the tariffs. I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. Don't know. But I've been listening to stuff
I'm
about
not
that.
expert on tariffs either, but I know
It causes price on our end to go up initially.
from really studying the stock market, it's almost inevitably the other way. You know, oil should go up, it goes down. It's like, why? It should have gone up. The economy should really do good. Trump's saying, well, you know, the central bankers are really in charge, and they would like his head on a platter. You know, there's that. So brace yourself. They would love to hang this
On him.
on him. What did Hillary
That's it.
Clinton win the other day?
Oh, she won the Medal of what was it? The Medal of Honor for a civilian, or what was it? Oh man, I just drew a blank. Sorry, I don't have that in front of me.
Well, I don't
and,
either, and I forgot.
George Soros did the same thing, and so did a couple other people. Anyway,
It's like
speaking
the
of banks,
Peace
real quick.
Prize or something.
Yeah, it was something. It was like yeah. Anyway,
The
speaking
body
of,
count for the Clintons.
Chris,
It
easy.
Okay, I'll shut up.
So talk about the banks. Interestingly enough, certain banks have started to pull out of this climate. Have you seen that? These climate green stuff.
Sure,
They're
yeah,
saying
pull
no,
out, yeah.
we're pulling out, we're backing away. It's not economically friendly anymore. I thought that was interesting too. I've been watching a lot of that stuff.
We're not done watching the banks, guys. The
No,
bank,
no.
watch your
Yep.
bank. Do yourself a favor and check them out. Check your personal bank out.
Yep.
Make sure they're not allocated to stuff that's in the red. Okay? That's so important. Now, strong jobs report means stock market go down. I think, hey,
You may give some specials?
no, well, I want to ask the community one thing.
Okay. Oh, about the lumber?
The price of lumber has dropped from over $1,700 per unit down to under $550 per unit. Lumber mills are producing less and slowing down operations. I'm reading my notes to you because I want you to think through it for yourself. I went back to 2008. I think this is way different than before. I know everybody says that it's different this time. Well, it's the same, but it's just a different way. There's a lot of ongoing construction. However, new building permits and housing starts is actually starting to decrease. So every time we go to town, we go to another city or country.
There's always construction.
Right. It's
And
just,
it makes no sense. We've talked about it.
it's like the economy's doing what?
Yep.
Okay, everything's fine. Everything's blowing and going. They're breaking ground. We went to Florida a year or two ago, and it was just, I noticed how we drove that time.
Yep.
How much groundbreaking was going on. I was like, man, this shouldn't be. So my thought was, could I get my pallet people? I've got 2 or 3 people that are involved in the pallet industry. If you're starting to notice things that are going on in your industry that has to do with pallets, that's a really good bellwether.
It is.
I've got that note. The housing market downturn, then we had the subprime crisis, led to the decrease in demand, new homes and lumber, in 2007, before
The crash.
2008.
Or supposedly,
Right.
started in the 2006, yeah.
This time's different. Housing is supposed to be in a shortage, right? It's like
Yep.
it's hard to, it's in this weird limbo area. It's not quite the same. This time could very well be different. It could very well be worse. So we're still, the story's still the same. We're still looking and waiting. The problem is there is nobody that has timing. God doesn't give that. You know, He gives us a lot of things, a lot of tools to work with, but as far as timing anything, that is rough. And be careful of anybody that's promoting that. I've got a time, I've got God's clock or something. Watch out. Just don't fall for
He
it.
gives us the ability to prepare. He gives us the ability to still live, still enjoy life. Like we've just
Enjoy life. He gives us the
does.
ability to say, hey, God's in control.
We just had the
of
best
everything.
December ever. Like we got to hang out with friends and family, and we took a break from YouTube and yes, we still consume some news. We still continue to watch. We still continue to see what was going on. We were still investing, but he also I think gives you the ability to just also enjoy life and matter of fact,
Enjoy His blessings while you can.
yes, and
If you live in fear, you're just gonna. It's a constant thing.
Yes.
When you get in there, it's like it's hard
you
to get
ball
out.
up.
Then when you just put your faith in Him, it's like, well, you know, if it ends tomorrow, then it ends tomorrow. It's no big deal, right?
He takes care of us. We got
Always.
kids coming out here tomorrow. I can't wait. I left the Christmas tree up just for them. We're gonna ride the 6-wheeler and do chili, and you still got to live, but we still try to prepare. We still try to pay attention to this and try to be wise. I think that would be the
We're
right.
actually doing a scavenger hunt
Yes.
with some young children tomorrow.
We
It's
are.
going to involve a 6-wheeler.
It's gonna be
Some
fun.
really cool stuff.
Yes.
So guys,
And walkie-talkies. Oh, real quick,
Oh,
we
go
got
ahead.
a couple specials. Hey, not in the email that I sent out to you guys, but Andy Scheckman just came out and is allowing us to do junk silver for $169 over. So you do that
whoa,
0.75,
what was the premiums on that?
$275.
No.
Oh,
2
when we
years
bought it,
ago.
like $14, $12. Yeah. So that's really good. I have some backdated 1-ounce gold maples, $59 over, which is really good. And then I have some Silver Falcon Canadians, which is 2014. They're kind of a unique, and they're $275 over. Everything else is still pretty much the same. But if you have questions, give me a call. If you want to be on my email list, text me, 318-564-5823. And man, it's great to be back and
It is.
see everybody.
I want you to pay attention to this. The premiums on junk silver are what?
$169, but you do that times 0.715.
Okay.
So they're super cheap.
The premiums 2 years ago?
Well, they were like $5, $5.75, and then like 3 years of that, they were like, maybe I'd have to go back
It
and
was
look.
14
It
something.
was
It
like 12
or
something.
14.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
That was when it really started to.
Sorry if I don't have that.
It was
completely
really
correct.
scary. I remember it being 12 or 14 bucks. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, the premiums on real money
Yeah.
that's a sovereign coin went way up. That's when I started to say, hey, you know, freedom seeds are kind of like that. When we start going into war at uncertain times, that kind of stuff. But you have to be able to buy it with the intention on reselling it. You know, you buy enough for you and buy a little bit more to resell. And you guys know to go in the description The number's there for Freedom Seeds. Her number's there. Stacey's number's
If not,
there.
I'll give you his information.
I'll pin it in the comments.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So.
In closing, I appreciate you guys. I really do. I appreciate everybody that I've met, talked to in the comments, been around, like truly the salt of the earth. I can say that without any doubt. There's nothing happening here but real things, and we want to be part of you guys' life as it goes down.
Check his hands out. You're talking about real things.
Yeah, I probably got smut on my face.
He's been working back here all day.
But have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one. Later.